How's it going, everyone? Euphoria. Welcome to Heliopolis Radio. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you've all had a blessed start to your 2023 and that you are moving the way you want to move. I think that's an effective way to get through whatever the year has to throw at all of us. Ultimately, I hope that you manage to rest, reset, and refocus and realign. And all the best for the year moving ahead. That's a life is quite hectic right now, so I'd imagine the challenges haven't stopped for many of us, but it is what it is. And I just wanted to say thank you for the support on the channel last year. For those of you that tuned in, I truly appreciate it. Apologies if you hear any little teeps in the background. My dog is being quite mischievous in the background there, but forgive him. He's not a puppy anymore, but fuck it, he's still at that age. And so, I just don't know, for those of you that tune in those of you that have tuned into the channel, I just recently uploaded a podcast interview with a man by the name of Kelvin Palmieri. He's an American entrepreneur and life coach. And ultimately, it's rare to meet the life coach industry has kind of grown and expanded in recent times. So obviously when things expand, authenticity is obviously lost. And I'm not trying to be biased or anything, but there are very few people that you meet who you can sense a certain level of genuineness and authenticness with the practice. He's a very, very awesome guy. His story is incredible. And I think a few, people could draw inspiration from it. And so that's literally why I do what I do. The platform, ultimately, I hope to not just be rambling off on my own. That gets boring and saturated, but I hope to have different guests, different perspectives, different ideas being shared, and just moving forward with that. And ultimately, I think you should tune into it. He shares some pretty amazing insight into just the journey of life, what it means to kind of take things, take responsibility for yourself and, handling your own business with, not kind of no shortcutting and no bullshit type person. And I think you need more of those people, especially in the times that we're living in and the challenges that we have. Coming back to the point, there's been a lot of admin and a bit of running around and just, usual life madness. So I haven't really had time to do this, which I kind of really missed. I won't even lie, these personal vlogs, I enjoy them. They're quite organic. There's a bit less pressure to, I guess, make it something, out there. So if it's trash, at least, I feel like I'm in my element. Not like that trash is my element, but I just feel like when things are organic, there's less pressure, and you just feel at peace when you're doing it. So I definitely now really trying to make time to get these done. Every 2 weeks or so. I think my schedule's changed a bit, so it's harder to do things as freely as before, but we'll try and make this work, and I hope to continue on it. And so the whole essence of this personal vlog was literally 2022 in retrospect. And I don't know. I guess a part of me was hesitant to make this because I didn't really know what to say and what to make of 2022. But I thought, why not just really go at it? I think the whole essence of 2023 is to not really be bound by anything and to just do things, accordingly. Just do things and don't attach too much to everything, And 2022, I realized that was what I really struggled the most with, was attachment, and more specifically, just attachment to my old habits and ways of thinking. I didn't do much. I was pretty cooped up in my head for the most part. But along with that, I was really clinging on to the past a lot. And I would say that 2022 could have been a better year had I simply chosen to, detach more. And so I don't want to say I don't believe in New Year's resolutions, but, my inclination from my experiences in 2022 is to be less bound by things, particularly things that are ultimately going to be subject to change, which includes your thoughts, my behaviors, my way of life, and more specifically, the way I want to view the world and the way I want things to be. I think 2022 made me realize that that's ultimately never going to be a reality. And I know it's obvious, it's kind of obvious to most people, like, yeah, duh, of course things, but we all have that, I guess, childish element of ourselves that kind of wishes and hopes, and, I guess 2022 made me realize you have to afford that inner child of yours empathy and understanding, like why we want things a certain way, why we don't want things to change. More specifically, why we stick to old ways and habits, and how we have to heal and let go of those old habits in order to face life as it is today, So yeah, ultimately 2022 was humbling in every sense, and I'm grateful for it. Obviously, I'm happy with some things. I decided to be more committed to just doing this, before I kind of did it on a whim, on inspirations and all sorts of stupid shit like that. But now I realize for me, this is ultimately just a way of life, and that's just how I'm going to stick with it. It's what I do. It's what I enjoy doing. I hope that, I'll develop the skills to make it more, authentic and aesthetic, the details that you need to make something kind of a complete work of, I don't want to say art, but whatever, a complete craft. I'm hoping to develop that skill set, and that's me for this year, is to become more skilled at whatever it is I'm putting my hand at, and ultimately, I'm wishing the same for all of you. I think we are much more content in this chaotic life when we have a craft that we've cultivated for ourselves, that we dedicate ourselves hopefully to. And so I hope that ultimately that I'll be able to not just speak of myself or by myself. I hope to extend this platform to others who are also willing to share their ideas, their principles, the experiences, and I just guess diversity and also just openness, right? And yeah, what else can I say? 2022 it was something. It was something, and I'm grateful for it. I think it's giving me the perspective necessary to ultimately move into 2023 and to just kind of really pay attention to my inner mechanisms more than anything else, because no matter how things are on the outside, if everything is failing internally, it's a shit show, and first-hand experience of that. And so yeah, that's me on this end. There'll be another personal vlog, not this coming week, but the week after. And I will be continuing. I obviously left off on the addiction topic. I still want to speak a lot about that, and I still have a lot to say about that, and kind of what my experience with addiction was in 2022. Ultimately, what I realized that, the journey towards sober living is quite taxing more than anything. It's a very not stressful, I don't want to use that word, but it's very tough in terms of what it extracts from you, in terms of discipline, in terms of, resolve and clarity. But I'm not going to get into any of that shit now. The motherfuckers are probably bored and everything, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you for the support in 2022 and the channel. I hope that what I did release was of some use to someone, or even if not, it was, I guess, entertaining at the very least. If not entertaining, then at least whatever, your mind was at least temporarily, I don't even know, man. If it's not even at least entertaining, then fuck, man, it is what it is. But all the best for 2023. And I hope to not just be talking by myself on the platform, and even if that ends up being the case, just me talking, I hope to make sure that I have content worth sharing, and that's what I'm working on. And so ultimately, the last thing is it won't be as regular as last year, because there's some stuff and adjustments and changes that I need to kind of work on, and I'm going to go through. Not that it matters, but fuck it, it's just so that you know how this channel will work. I'm basically trying to structure it with a personal vlog and a podcast interview in between. And then obviously I have my SoundCloud account, which I'll be posting the much longer, content in terms of books and stuff that I've read or whatever information I feel like it's worth sharing. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Peace and blessings to the people. And thank you.